Je video kan nasiman kesoha yan Dominic Sangma ni film nga je kho kan de biara ching achkrang thang man sa saksa sing bong nga do de aro je kho kan de bian award man ku bong nga kin da bia Rapture film ko thai thai ha khang award manan ke bade e bo de Ma.ama film ni nga film nasiman kesoha ari film ko ni chinglo ga sim to get Rapture film noin ga Japanese kang film nang da kin ka ha ga stream ka hande blong gemna asyong ban ka hon tisa de ngena full ko de khana ekta mancha de ba on tisa asyong kom aba ching na simje kon ka hasewa ngena nibon asyong Dominic Sangma ngena Ma.ama film aro de Rapture ada ya ko youtube ko Rapture ko de man kujenga ada Ma.ama ko man na bon kon aba na kuja ngeman changsa sa asyong ko mathela yang ni channel lo jekon bigo interview acham mane de mandirang singa film rang ni geman na simang bangjan kana teman gen bang aman singa aro biol ucok na simang saknya ibo ini Dominic Sangma ni akan sakan ni hai ni hai bujok biasan tela wan Malik Dominic film ni director ibe saksa yu ko ma iman gopra nan angkon manjana batis ribati next kaya na dupete mai ga asus kaya na foto mai ga mate ka Harang na minga film ni naskang. Madam ba ngi haide. Sar sega ba. Negena ya akan tiun go ba. Masa Samuel.
Ya email bharti alu terimo.
Negena film nokko ba dia. Ini kaca cinggo ba. Ada Dominic.
Ya ya ya.
Ini sing orang Iran. Ini orang bani namanya penjatang ko dungamu. Penjatang ko dungawa. Muna ko kananganan. Ngi ha. Sa mo kumitin sa mga. Film ni bimong kagan sa muda.
Sako?
Film ni bimong ko.
Rapture, adam do katanga.
Kel bejo.
Directed by
Dominic.
Dominic Tian.
So Dominic, the first question I want to ask is, in the whole production of the movie, what is it that you are the most proud about? What is it maybe the biggest challenge you face and the one thing that's really you're very happy about the outcome?
First of all, thank you so much for coming. I mean, I was not really expecting to have this kind of crowd, and it's really wonderful to have you all here. And for the first time, I think lots of Garos are here, and I'm so happy because I'm like really. It's not like screened publicly for the people out there, and I'm so happy that I could hear lots of laugh, smile and laugh, and so I got it. What they're getting, what I was trying to say, the nuances and essence of things that I was trying to portray in the film. Of course, like we shot the film, the challenges we faced was just immediately after the second lockdown, and I got an institutional funding from Switzerland, which was going back if I was not shooting the film on time. So I had to shoot the film by any means to finish the film, and the film is about the village itself in the beginning, and then I wanted to bring the whole community and explore the village first as a universe itself, and then get into a crowd, and then get into smaller characters, and then go into characters who are more touched by what happened in the film. So the challenge for me was to kind of get all these people together and because none of them have ever faced camera before. So almost all of them are known actors, and I cast from different parts of Garo Hills and from my village, and then handling them was very, very difficult. And shooting in the mountain, in the forest, till today my friends are saying that the biggest mistake that I did was to shoot the hardest scene, the opening scene on the first day, because it exhausted everyone. Like the next day we couldn't get up because like we shot in the forest, and then we have to gather all the people, and like it was very, very tiring. But I think the most happiest thing is that the whole community came together, and the film traveling, it's like my community, Garo community, are very, very proud of the film. Like I feel sad that I'm still not being able to screen the film yet because of some reasons. We still haven't got the good time to screen because they are saying that, hey, you're screening the film everywhere, we're still not getting to see it. So, but I want to tell everyone out here.
Someone in the audience has questions? Yes, very nice.
I have two questions. My name is Zoya Sangma. I have two questions. I'm going to ask them both. So, when their house was set on fire, was it actually fire, and or did you just put effects?
And what's the next question?
The next question is when all the violence happened, was there actually hitting, or was it just soft hitting and then you put in sound effects?
Okay, I mean it's like a great observation. Of course, like the house. So it's Mampunchi's house. He's supposed to be sleeping in that house. So what we did is we bought the house from the owner of the house, this house, because he was trying to break that house. So we didn't set it on fire. I mean, what we did, what you see from the camera pan, and you see that it's actually we build like a haystack, and then and then we burn it, because I wanted to shoot it from this side, and then I want to pan and see the same action there. And just to intensify the fire, we added a little special effect on it. Other question was of the hitting. Yeah. So, I mean, we made the production designers. They made kind of a stick which is soft. So what I told my actor is that really hit him hard, But even if it hits him hard, it's like it's soft. So nobody got harm in the film. I mean, everybody's happy and everybody's proud of it. So thank you, Joel. Thank you for the beautiful question.
Are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes. Glenn asked the question. You had a question, and you said to me.
Sir, good evening. Sir, for the beginning sequence and the procession sequence, how did you manage to combine? Was these two moments, of course you can use drone and all, but achieving in one single take these two moments is something very arduous or Herculean task. So how did you manage to execute at that point of time? These two sequences.
What we did is we had a gimbal, and then we have a crane for the opening sequence. So the gimbal operator and the cameraman, they travel through the crowds, and then we had a crane on the end of the space where it's supposed to go up. So we have he travels through with the crane, and then he comes back, and then crane goes up like that. So
everything was set up now?
Yeah, everything is set up there. Like we have a gimbal, and then we have a crane ready already. So the gimbal operator will go after going through. He'll come back, and then he'll sit on the crane, and the crane goes up like that.
Which camera did you use for these two sequences?
I shot the entire film in Alexa Mini LF. Yeah, and on the patch shoot we did a Sony Venice, and then for the processing sequence we have a Jimmy Chip. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. It was really wonderful seeing this film, which is actually, I think, in my opinion, trying to capture a community, getting into it, which is very evident from how the camera movement happens in the film, just as you explained, bringing you close to the family, then getting into the characters. So, just coming to the question, if you can briefly explain your process with working with non-actors.
Honestly, I feel that we are better actors in real life. I mean, all of us are better actors in real life than in film. I feel like nowadays, if you see film, in real life, we really don't know what we are. We say something else, we do something else, and then we're so good at it right now. I feel like that. And in film, everything is so absolute, I mean, most of the film, like, you will exactly know what the actor wants to say. You will everything is absolute in the film. So for me, what I try to do is to look for personality rather than looking for actor. I wanted to, I do I meet lots of people. I try to really observe people, their gestures, their movement, the way they speak, and I just wanted to bring it. So I don't really tell them how they need to act. So most of the time I will only say that, like, for example, getting Kasan is like a blessing in disguise. The kid that I was supposed to cast, I was training with him for a year, and just before the shoot, 1 week before the shoot, he quit. He got bored because, we were doing training for like a year, and then COVID happened. He's like, I'm so tired, I don't want to do that, And his mom was very, very sad. And then, so every time he comes to Tura, I take him to hospital because I was also looking for cleft lip. So I go to hospital and look for cleft lip. And then, so I took him to hospital, and the doctor says, have you found the actor? I said, no, this guy is just leaving, He's like, I have another new kid who just got operated a few months back. So we immediately called him. We went to his house. And what I said is, the most toughest thing that he gonna face during the shoot. So I don't try to make it sound, sometimes we try to pamper kids during the shoot, I just wanted to make him like it's a work, that everybody have to do it. And he became so good at it. Like he just knows. He's the one who gives every scene like a one take. Like and he wanted to act so much that when
Thank you for the question. What was really special for me in this movie is because I could work with my people, and also when I worked with Dominic, I could really understand the characters, and I could bring out the characters through costume, like playing with very minute details, or maybe for example, maybe with the placket, or maybe with the pocket, or with the color schemes. And as you can see the movie, we have followed certain color scheme for the mood of the scenes. And also for me, I could work with weavers, community weavers, and also in most of the scenes, for example, in one of the scenes, a dream sequence, I could revive the indigenous culture, the costumes of a culture, which is not really, times have changed, so, even the costume has really changed, the motives have changed, so I just want...
Congratulations, Dominic, and as a person, I am so honored to have seen this film, and I have to admit that I've been a little resentful that we haven't seen it in our state yet.
Thank you.
Of course, much to address there. I have many questions, but I'm curious. There was, I think for me, I really noted the absence of any digital devices, but every now and then there was a box TV that would appear in some of the homes. And yet there was there was a scene where you're looking at the city. Is there a specific time in which you're placing this film? That's one question. The other question is, I think for me the story is so new. culturally and in so many ways, even though it is a certain kind of now an idea of, do you think that this film is sort of representing an idea of what the Garo people are? And what are your thoughts on that? Is it okay that Garo people would be represented like as they are in this village only? Because it is very specifically about, you know, the community within a village, and it's not about everyone. And it was really nice, actually, I have to say, like with all the people here, and I know that there's quite a few people from the Garo community. Like the laughs, because for me it was also like every now and then I heard them laughing, and it was an indicator for me, you know, like how the reaction was. So yeah, many more questions, like I said, but I just wanted to place these two here out for you.
Yeah, about time, and I wanted to keep it timeless. Like I want to, in terms of look, I wanted to make it very timelessness. Like I don't want to have a specific time. At the same time, when I was writing, I wrote for a reason the time that we are leaving. You know, so right now, so when I was writing in 2018, so there was certain kind of disturbance that I was going through or whatever. That's so. So, like, of course, it comes from memory.
I'm not much of a film person, but I'm reminded of what I think this film. I took the liberty of looking up where you trained, and I'm going to make it a point to re-look at another trilogy, the Apu trilogy and Pote Panchali, because I mean, there's so many issues here, but it seems to me that my question is we look at all kinds of structures, state structures, church structures, village, communitarian structures, and you sort of look at it and in a sense lay it bare. You know, you take the veil off all of these structures. And while I was watching the movie, I was wondering who your subject is, because from whose perspective is this movie really about? What is the... it reminds me a lot of the other thing that I was referring to, Pote Panchali, but I mean the anthropological view of this. Is it that of somebody who's participating or is just observing? Is there a kind of a nihilism in it that there are no gods, there are no positive entities anyway? Could you say something about that? I really love the movie.
So the story is based on my village. I was born and brought up there, and then I went to school in colleges, and I studied outside. So in a village. In 100 households, everybody knows everyone. There is no secret in that. Like if there is a secret, there's a collective secret in the village. So what I was trying to do is, so whenever I come back to a village, so I will talk about from whose perspective it is. Like whenever I come back to a village, like when you're away from the village, you can have this view of the village, and you can understand like, oh, the village functions like this, like this, like this, like this, like that. Like you have that kind of understanding. When you're into the village, when you are part of the community, sometimes when things happen like that, you can't draw yourself out of it, like you're part of it. So one thing is that it's
Kerala International Film Festival actually, but then I missed it there. So I was like, I made sure to not miss it here. Wonderful experience. I like every time I watch a film from our region, I get so excited about it because the entire aesthetic of that village aesthetic, that very rawness of it, it's still pretty rare to see it depicted this beautifully on the big screen. I think it's wonderful. I absolutely am in love with the cinematography. I think almost every shot was just like a masterpiece in its own, even if like we are not looking at the entire sequence. It was just brilliant. Also, I just because you mentioned the trilogy, this film, not that it lacks in its own as a story, but then I'm really excited to know that if it were to be a continuation of some form from this story onto the next story that you're planning out, and how did it like pan out, because you're already we go into this sort of universe where there are these characters and there are these certain beliefs and certain ways of living that the community holds on to. And if that were to expand, if you were to expand it as a sort of like three-way, I don't know if that's your plan, but then
No.
yeah.
So whenever people make trilogy, they have like a character that goes from one film to another. I don't want to do that. Like I was just thinking that what if a different trilogy can happen that is based on your memories and based on the village, and then you can tell the different stories. But the connecting thread is the memories itself.
So my question is that like since the beginning you have a very like theological lens to this whole narrative, right? And then there's always this, you can notice this tension between being moral and being righteous or empathetic, like you said. And when you talk about a village having like a collective sense of belonging, this tension is also shown when, at the beginning they're bringing in the statue, but also at the end when they're collectively keeping a secret. So did you think that a theological lens was like important for this narrative, because the prophecy itself, the fear itself comes from a Catholic congregation?
Yeah, I'm Catholic. Two of my sisters are nuns. I don't want to make a comment on the church or anything like that. It's just like maybe sometimes such things can coincide and it can come together, Like I think when things get worse, things only get piles up and get worse, So, we, in Northeast, like most of the hilly areas are Christians in that way, and then how church is very close to our life. And the story also, like it based on the memories that we experienced when I was growing up. And there was this story that Virgin Mary, which was exactly like what was in the story, and then I used to be very, very afraid that darkness is going to come and only
the changing figure of the enemy. So we can see the pastor, religious leader. At the end we see the police, But what I couldn't find in the movie, and I want to know if it's on purpose, is the absence of the state. We don't see any M&As, we don't see any government, you don't talk about politics. So it's timeless in a sense, but so is it on purpose? Is it because you experience it this way?
Maybe it's intentional, maybe you don't really need to do that.
Yeah.
It's really not too good time to do that maybe. So maybe it's more clever way of doing things. Yeah.
Hi, Dominic. I had two questions. One is that I wanted to talk about your style because I felt that the film is interesting because once is you keep referring to your memories, and secondly you refuse to draw out a thesis from your film. In the sense we see different.
When I was writing a script, I had a co-producers from Europe, and